Welcome to AI on the Block, featuring Max Ledger and Allison Hashwell, presented by Evolve Blockchain.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of information, cut right through the noise, and give you the insights that really matter. Today, we're diving headfirst into something that's moving incredibly fast: the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it feels like it's everywhere and nowhere sometimes, doesn't it?
Exactly. So we've gathered insights from quite a few industry reports, different analyses, all focused on where crypto stands now and where it's heading. Our mission really is to give you a clear, concise picture of this whole journey. What's pushing it forward, what's kind of holding it back, and what does it all mean for you?
Precisely. We'll dig into some of the big usability challenges that are often overlooked. We'll look at the really crucial role stablecoins are playing now and the real-world uses that are actually getting traction, not just hype. Plus, the tech advancements, often quiet ones, that are making it all work. By the end of this, you should have a much, much clearer view of crypto's path and why it's becoming, well, increasingly relevant.
Okay, so let's kick things off. Our sources, pretty much across the board, flag one thing as the single biggest hurdle for crypto really hitting the mainstream: usability.
Usability.
It's not that the underlying tech is bad,
Right.
It's too darn difficult for the average person to actually use.
That's exactly it. The complexity is just a massive hurdle. I mean, imagine trying to use your normal bank account if you had to, like manage these super long cryptic addresses for everything
Right.
and figure out gas fees just to send $5. That's kind of been the crypto experience for a lot of people.
Okay, so it's the how, not the what, that's the issue. So what are the concrete steps then? What's the industry actually doing to fix this for us?
Yeah, there's definitely a concerted effort. They're focusing on several key things. First, simpler onboarding flows, just making that first step less scary.
Getting started easily makes sense.
Yeah. Then fiat on-off ramps. Basically, seamless ways to get your regular money into crypto and, importantly, back out again. Definitely. And abstracted wallet addresses. This just means hiding those long, complex blockchain codes from you. Like you type a name, not a string of random characters.
Okay, like using a domain name instead of an IP address.
Exactly like that. And then there's social key recovery. This is interesting. It lets trusted friends or family help you get your funds back if you lose your key. Addresses that big fear of losing everything,
Oh, that is a big one. Yeah, the fear of losing access forever. What about those transaction fees? The gas fees everyone talks about.
Right. Tackling that, too, with gasless transactions. The idea is to make it so you don't have to manually manage or even think about network fees for every little thing.
Okay, that would be huge.
And maybe the most transformative piece: embedded wallets in mainstream apps. So crypto wallets built right into the apps you already use every day. Think about how Apple Pay or Google Pay just work seamlessly. That's the goal.
Integrated, almost invisible.
Yeah, remove the jargon, hide the blockchain complexity, make payments like one click or just mobile native. Plus, you're seeing these hybrid custody options pop up, sort of a mix of you holding the keys and having some institutional backup, trying to ease that anxiety around managing private keys yourself.
Okay, so lots of focus on smoothing out those rough edges. But friction points aside, what's actually driving adoption? What's pulling crypto forward?
Well, what's really fascinating and comes up again and again in the reports is the role of stablecoins.
Ah, right. The dollar-pegged ones, mostly.
Yeah, mostly pegged to fiat, like the US dollar. They're seen as a really critical driver for getting broader adoption. They offer that stability people are used to, but with crypto speed and efficiency.
And speaking of stability and trust, there was a pretty big development on the regulatory side in the U.S. recently, wasn't there?
A really big one, yeah. The U.S. passed new stablecoin legislation in August 2025. It's called the Genius Act.
The Genius Act, okay.
And it's a game changer because it sets out clear rules, who is allowed to issue stablecoins, and really importantly, strict requirements for the reserves backing them up. That clarity builds essential trust and cuts down on regulatory uncertainty.
So the thinking is this gives traditional finance the green light they needed.
That's exactly what analysts believe, that this clarity will finally encourage banks, big merchants, payment processors, the established players, to integrate tokenized fiat. They can do it feeling confident they're playing within clear legal lines.
Okay, that definitely sounds like a major step towards integration, at least in the U.S. But how does that look globally? Is everyone else catching up, or is it still a bit messy?
Well, global efforts are picking up speed, definitely.
Yeah.
But you hit on it, the landscape is still pretty fragmented.
Mhm.
Many places still don't have clear rules on, say, which tokens count as securities versus utilities.
Mhm.
And there's a real need for more consistency on consumer protection and AML KYC requirements across different countries.
Anti-money laundering. Know your
Yeah.
customer.
Yeah. So that inconsistency can still be a drag on truly global operations, but the general trend, the momentum, is definitely towards clearer rules, even if it takes time.
Okay, so moving past the regulations and the tech for a second, where is crypto actually, being used effectively today? Beyond just speculation.
Yeah.
Where's the real world impact?
That's the key question, isn't it? And the reports consistently highlight payments and remittances as the most impactful uses right now.
Okay, sending money.
Yeah, because crypto offers much faster settlement, often lower costs, especially for cross-border stuff and for B2B, business-to-business payments, where the old systems can be really slow and clunky. We're seeing consultants, banks predicting really significant growth in payments volume using stablecoins specifically.
What about the areas that grab more headlines, like gaming or NFTs? Still relevant?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gaming and NFTs are still huge onboarding ramps. They bring lots of new people into the space through, in-game tokens, digital collectibles, that sort of thing. But beyond that, there's another really strong adoption trend emerging. Tokenized real-world assets.
Tokenized real-world assets. Okay,
Yes.
break that down. What does that actually mean for someone listening? Are we talking about a digital deed to my house?
Well, potentially, yeah. It's basically about converting traditional assets, things like securities, company invoices, even loyalty points, into digital tokens on a blockchain.
Right.
So, yes, it could be a share in a building represented digitally, or maybe fractional ownership of a piece of art. This trend is really gaining steam both for retail users like you and me and for big companies. It offers new ways to manage value, transfer it more easily, even split ownership into smaller pieces. It really shows crypto has tangible benefits way beyond just being something to trade.
Right, making things that were maybe illiquid or inaccessible before much easier to own and trade. Interesting. So let's pull all these threads together then. We've got the big push on usability, clearer regulations starting to emerge, real-world uses gaining traction, and the tech getting better. What do the projections say? How big could this get?
Well, current estimates put global users somewhere in the hundreds of millions already, which is significant.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really striking is that several of these reports project that the total number of wallets or users could get close to 1 billion in the not-too-distant future.
Wow, 1 billion. That's a huge jump. What are the key things expected to drive that kind of exponential growth?
It really comes down to the convergence of everything we've just discussed. Continued improvements in the user experience, making it easy, the establishment of those clear, hopefully more globally consistent regulatory frameworks building trust, and just the continued scaling of practical, real-world applications that actually solve problems for people and businesses. Payments, tokenized assets, maybe things we haven't even fully seen yet. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What does the world actually look like when using crypto or interacting with digital assets is as normal and, well, boring as sending an email?
Yeah, that's a powerful thought. So wrapping up our deep dive today, we've really seen how crypto's journey towards the mainstream hinges on making it genuinely easy to use. We've seen the impact of clearer rules like the Genius Act and the real growth happening in payments, gaming, and those tokenized assets, especially in emerging markets.
And we've touched on how those crucial, often invisible tech innovations like account abstraction and layer 2s are paving the way, making a future possible where maybe 1 billion people are interacting with digital assets seamlessly, intuitively.
So the final thought for you to take away. As crypto evolves from this complex niche thing into something potentially woven into the background of our digital lives, how might that change the way you think about and interact with money, with digital ownership, even with your online identity in the years ahead? You've now got the shortcut to being well-informed on where things stand and where they might be going in this incredibly dynamic space.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to join Max and Allison next episode as they dig deeper into the different facets of Evolve blockchain. This has been AI on the Block.